G'day guys, Chris here from FLITELab. I'm here today with the AMPJet, boards, batteries, LAUNCHPad, and just going to give you a quick run through on how easy this thing is to put together, a couple of tips and tricks and things to watch out for, and get you out in the water as quick as possible. Now, first things first, download the Flite app, pair to the cartridge, connect to the LAUNCHPad. You need to update the software first. Do this at home so you're not down the beach mucking around, so you're all ready when you turn up at the beach. Conditions are epic, you're excited to get out there. Really, really important. So today we've got our 2 amp cells. These are fly safe. They're really, really great to travel with, but please check with your airline. Some airlines like pre-approval. Most airlines don't, but jump on their website, work out what you need to do. I've flown plenty of times with these, really, really great, but last thing you want is to turn up at the airport and be rejected. So check with your airline. We've got our jet cartridge, we've got our end cap to hold the batteries in, and we've got our LAUNCHPad. So it's pretty straightforward. The batteries you'll see have got a plug that sticks out and then a bunch of terminals back here. So what we need to do is, this is a dovetail system, and basically you can click them together like this. Now, before you click them together, you can also give them a little shake. And this will light up and actually tell you how charged they are. So hopefully you've got them both fully charged so you get the longest session possible. Now, once they're together, you'll see once again, we've got our plug sticking out and our flat end. So the plug sticking out is the end that you want to stick into the cartridge. Now, if you do it the other way around, the end cap's not going to fit and the thing's not going to power up. But once we give it a little push, you'll hear the thing start up. It will be a double beep, just like that. And then we put our end cap on. Now, this is our sealing architecture. Now, everything's built with lots of waterproofing in it. We don't want anything to get wet, but we want to make sure this is really nice and clean. Now, it's good because it stays clean. There's no grease, it's a triple seal, but if it is dirty, just blow it out or wash it out, dry it out, make sure that this is all nice and clean. We don't want water and sand in the cartridge, and if you do, you need to clean it out. Really, really important, and dry it out. So put this on, and then it's quite stiff, but it's deliberately like that to hold the batteries nice and, like nice and tight in there when you're pumping around. So you give it a good push and you'll hear it click, and then push the other side and you'll hear that click. And then basically you want to make sure that these little pins are sticking out, and you want to make sure that both these levers here aren't in, they're actually pushed out. So really, really important. So now that we've got this, most people, myself included, usually have the board sitting like this to put the cartridge in. So one thing to watch out for if you do have it like this, don't drop it from here. You've got 4 kilos slamming down on the board, you're going to damage something. So bring it all the way down and then just let it click in at the end there. So once it's in, you'll see the cartridge isn't sitting in properly yet, flush. We've got a long locking bolt, deliberately for the reason that if the cartridge gets jammed in there because your kids are playing on the beach and they've built a sandcastle on top of your board and all the sand's gone into your inlets, or you're sitting in the shore break talking to someone and the sandy water's lapping over into the shore break, it's going to jam the cartridge up. So the long locking bolt allows you to actually wind it and pull that cartridge out that first bit and break that seal. Now, in general, it should never happen, but we've designed it just on that one off. So we've deliberately thrown sand down the inlets, and it takes a lot of sand to jam the cartridge, but it's a thing that is possible. So we wind this in. And it takes a few turns, but you'll see the cartridge will actually start to suck itself into the board. And then you don't have to do it up super tight. You'll feel the locking bolt stop, just finger tight, and you'll see that the cartridge is now flush. So really, really great. Then we have our LAUNCHPad. Now, I haven't turned this on yet, and the reason I haven't turned it on yet is because if it's not already in the board and you've got it on and it's already paired to your cartridge, as you're pushing in, you can actually hit the boost button, which is okay, but it'll run for a split second, it will detect that it's out of the water and turn itself off. But the less you can run it out of the water, the thing prefers to run in the water with all the seals and that sort of stuff. So anyway, I leave it off when I'm putting it into the board. We've got a FLITELab logo at the top. You stick that around about 10 o'clock, and then you've got these little levers. Now this is quite tight. You want to give it a good click in, and you feel it click and stop. And then the FLITELab logo will be pointing directly north. It's tight, so you can go and charge those 8 to 10 foot ways. Ride the impossible. So really, really good that it's tight, but it does take a little bit to get in and out. Now, the only thing like having the board a little bit salty and sandy, we don't wash our gear. I recommend washing the cartridge, but once again, you know, tiny bit of sand, that cartridge is going to go in and out, no worries. Make sure that the cup here, where the LAUNCHPad goes in, is clean. Now, it stays clean very easily because it's all sealed, and I usually don't pull that LAUNCHPad out till I'm back at the car anyway. But if there is sand in there or you notice some sand, wash it out or blow it out if it's dry. Because if you get sand in there and you squeeze that thing in really tight, there's every chance that you're going to have a real hard time getting it back out. So now that we've got that in there, we turn the thing on. So we have a circle, we've got a triangle, and then we've got 3 dots, which is our menu button. So if you hold the triangle and the menu button, it takes about 5 to 7 seconds, you'll see the FLITELab logo come up. Now, once the FLITELab logo comes up, it'll then go on to the next screen, which is the state of charge of the actual LAUNCHPad, just to tell you how charged it is. Now, I keep this thing reasonably charged, but you're going to get 8-10 sessions out of this depending on how long your sessions are. So I use it down to about 50-40%, then I just charge it all the way up again. So I'm charging it every 5-6 sessions, because the last thing you want to do is get to the beach and you've got 5%, and you're going, oh my God, it's going to be a beautiful day and big long session. So once that screen's cleared, you go to our main screen. Now on our main screen, we've got our 2 batteries, we've got our time. The time will only show up once it's actually got GPS signal, so it sometimes takes a little while to show up. And then at the top, we've got what preset we're in. Now the preset when you're starting is really important. So we've designed presets to get you out in the water so you don't have to work out all the different, you know, things like how much boost, how much acceleration, how much time, and all the different settings. You can change all those settings within the LAUNCHPad, which I'll go through in another video, but at least you can just go there and go, okay, I'm gonna do the presets. So once again, press and hold the menu button, and you will get to the presets. The circle and the triangle will switch between the presets. So at the moment I'm on prone, we've got wing for winging, we've got downwind for downwinding. So there's your 3 disciplines. So it's really, really great for travel, really, really great just to have that one board in the back of the car. So really, really awesome. And then the last preset we've got is actually called unpowered. So that means that if you're riding without the cartridge and you've just got the blank ends, you can throw that LAUNCHPad in, put it into unpowered mode, and it's still going to track all your waves. Now, I ride this all the time unpowered. It's really, really, like, try it. It's an absolutely awesome board. We designed it as a prone board. Then we built Jet in. So the board is designed to be proned. So really, really great. Same with our M boards, really, really awesome mid-length boards for winging. Definitely recommend the Jet when you're downwinding, just to help you get into the waves. But really, really great. So we go back to our prone, press and hold the menu, and we're back to our main screen. And then the last thing we've got is this boost meter. It's a little green line that goes all the way around the edge. Now this will start off basically all the way around about 4 o'clock. Now this is basically, the system was designed to be as light as possible. We did a huge amount of testing, working out how often we boost, and we didn't want to go adding additional weight to the system to cool it down just for the people that do back-to-back boosts, because that's not what we're here to do. We're not going to just drain the battery by doing boosts without having a break. So this thing just tells you where you're at. If you're out there and you're basically boosting and falling off, boosting and falling off, boosting and falling off, and not giving the system a break at all, after so many boosts, you'll get into this, the ring will start to come all the way around and it will basically turn orange. Once it turns orange, you know that you're almost into a mode we call jet cool down. So if you keep pushing it when it's in orange, after a few more boosts, you're going to hit blue. So, and that depends on water temperature and a few factors, but it's just basically giving you a warning. Once you hit blue, it's going to go into jet cool down mode and it's going to stop you from boosting. You can still use paddle assist, but the system needs to cool down. So we only let the system get so warm, it's protecting itself. And once it hits blue, depending on water temperature, you're looking at 15, 30 seconds before you can boost again. So 99% of the time, or pretty much on every normal session that you have, you don't even get into the orange. So even when we're pushing it hard on a beach break, duck diving using the boost all the time and catching lots of waves, but the system is there to protect itself. So a couple of simple tips for your first session out there. Circle is pedal assist. Gives you 60 seconds of a really low thrust. There's 3 levels of thrust. The default for the prone preset that we recommend is 2. They've got 1, 2, and 3. So 3 is going to give you even more pedal thrust, but it's going to go through the battery faster. 1's going to go through the battery less. 2 is a nice balance. So it runs to 60 seconds. If you don't get all the way out in 60 seconds, press it again. If you get out there before 60 seconds, or you just don't want the paddle assist anymore, just press the button while it's in paddle assist and it will stop. Then we've got the triangle, which is your boost. Press the button, it winds up and boosts you onto the wave. Now, the really important thing about the boost is on the smaller boards, we like to run at least 3 seconds of acceleration. The bigger boards, you get away with less. But if it's 3 seconds of acceleration so the board doesn't slip up your chest as you're trying to paddle, press the button, start paddling. The harder you paddle at the start, the quicker that board's going to accelerate. It's actually going to give you more of a chance to actually get onto a wave. You can be lazy and just press it and catch bigger, steeper waves, but if you want to get onto those next to nothing waves, you've still got to throw those arms over and give yourself a paddle. Now, think of it like 3 seconds from 0 boost to 100 boost, 100% boost, or what you've got the boost set up. You want to press that button 3 seconds before the wave's going to come to you. You want to be hitting that maximum boost that you've got set as the wave's coming to pick you up. That's going to give you the best chance of getting up and catching next to nothing. It's really, really important. Most people who, when they first go out, are going, I can't really get onto these waves. They're just pressing that boost button too late. You work out the timing really quickly. It's actually quite intuitive, but it's just a little tip there just for your first time to press the button earlier than you actually think. The other great thing is when you're in paddle assist, you can actually see a little bit of a lump over there going, I'm not going to make that. Hit the paddle assist because it's going to give you more speed to paddle over to it. And as you're paddling over to it, just before you get to the wave, you can boost on top of the paddle assist. So it's going to go from paddle assist into boost. And like you literally would boost, drag an arm, turn onto the wave, 2 more strokes and up you get. It's really, really, really cool. The other great thing is like paddle assist is really, really great just to help you on those duck dives. But if it's really big white walls coming at you because you're out in really, really big conditions, use the boost. It'll be the best duck dive you have ever done. It's actually quite addictive. So, but once again, you've got so many boosts, you know, depending on how quick you get up, you're running sort of 30 to 40 boosts per session. So you should get a good hour and a half to 2.5 hours, depending on how many waves you're catching, if you're falling off on waves, all that sort of stuff. But you learn to use the thing efficiently. The more you use it, the longer the run times you'll actually get. So respect people out in the ocean, have fun. You've got this tool to be able to sit wider than everybody. Use it for those reasons. It's really, really great. So go enjoy yourself, go ride the impossible, get out there, have an absolute ball. Thanks for your time, guys.